This is the COMA Girl Daily Podcast, written by Stephanie Bond. July 10, Sunday.
I lit a candle for you this morning,
My mother said. So did I, my Aunt Winnie said,
although I don't have as much clout with the saints as your mom.
My colorful Aunt Winnie is my favorite relative, but because she lives 4 hours away in Savannah and she and my mom don't see eye to eye on pretty much anything, I don't get to see her as often as I'd like. My mother made a disapproving noise, then said,
Marigold, remember the time you and Winnie and I went to see the show at the Center for Puppetry Arts?
She won't remember, Carrie. She's right. I don't remember.
The doctor said it would be easier for her to recall older memories than new ones, so we're supposed to talk about the things we did when she was a child.
Okay, except we didn't take Marigold. We took Sydney.
No, we didn't?
Trust me, we did.
Oh, well, maybe so. Well, there was the time we went to the Swan House for tea.
Also Sydney.
What? No.
Yes.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. Marigold was already in school. But you and I once took Marigold to the botanical gardens.
We did?
I don't remember that. I remembered it. I loved the Butterfly Center. She loved the Butterfly Center, Winnie said.
I think you must be thinking of someone else,
my mom said. And I think you blocked out your middle child's childhood.
That's ridiculous,
my mother sputtered. I couldn't agree more. I could picture my mother's face turning red, her pretty mouth puckering.
Let's go,
she bit out.
Visiting hours are almost over anyway.
Go ahead. I want to have a private moment with COMA Girl.
Don't call her that.
Okay, sorry. I'll be right out. The clickety-clack of my mother's shoes told of her supreme irritation. When the door closed, my aunt chuckled. Listen, Marigold, my love, I totally understand why you wouldn't want to come back to those people. They haven't always done right by you, but they do love you in their own way. And I love you more than I love myself, so please, wake up. I tried so hard to open my eyes, but it didn't happen. Okay then, she said. You're on your own timeline. I can respect that. I'll come back soon by myself so we can visit. Goodbye, sweetheart. When the door closed, I felt lighter. Aunt Winnie is a force of nature, so if she believes I'm still viable, that has to be good. A few minutes later, the door opened and closed again. I thought either my mother or aunt had forgotten something. Hi, Marigold.
Holy pink grapefruit cake.
It's me, Duncan. As if he'd have to tell me, as if I hadn't memorized every creamy nuance of his caramel voice, and he still wore that smoky cloves cologne I loved. He stepped close enough to my bed to ping the metal, and the pained noise he made is proof of how grim I must look with my bandaged head and scars apparently crisscrossing my face. And admittedly, when it came to grooming, I did the bare minimum. So my basic routine would be undone after a few weeks of neglect. My eyebrows were probably bushy, and my breath probably reeked. And was someone keeping the crusties out of my eyes and nose? I didn't know this had happened, he murmured. I didn't know. I'm so sorry, Marigold. Sorry for the condition I'm in, or sorry for breaking my heart? Okay, technically that last part isn't fair because he doesn't know he broke my heart. But he'd lost his chance with me forever, so if he was having regrets, he was just going to have to live with himself. Oh, and Trina. The nurse said I could only stay for a couple of minutes, but I just wanted to see you in person and tell you. Yes, I'm waiting. I have nothing but time. Goodbye. After the door closed, I lay there and just lay there. Duncan apparently had his closure. This coma thing isn't as satisfyingly vengeful as I'd hoped.
Hello, this is Stephanie Bond, author of the COMA Girl Daily podcast. It's getting good, isn't it? Poor Marigold, at the mercy of dysfunctional family and friends. How frustrating. Have you ever known anyone who was in a coma? Share your story in the Facebook group for COMA Girl fans. The link is in the show notes, along with links to some of my other projects. Thanks so much for listening.